Hello everyone, Vlad Derevyany here, and we're going to talk today about a little bit on time management. I was flying back from the conference a couple of days back, on Monday. I was on the Armin Moritz conference and marketing event. By the way, fastest way to meet successful people is you go to events. I go to at least 5 to 10 a year. We're going to spend more time talking about that. But I was sitting in a plane and I was thinking, how can I give back? How can I help a lot of people uh, to achieve whatever they want to achieve? I've been helped a lot over the years. A lot of people helped me, and I decided I'm gonna go on video and talk about things that I know, things that I've done, things I know that work. And I believe and I hope that people implement what I say and learn from it and pick what they think is valuable to them and implement it and hope change their life for better, like I changed mine. I came to Canada in 1999 with pretty much nothing, $500 in my pocket, 400 of each is going to pay for my first semester in college, and the other 90 was for accommodations. So I have $10 left, and the rest I had to figure it out. I'm not going to talk much myself. You can go to my LinkedIn account at Vlad Derevyany and you can see what I've done. I've been an executive. I've been vice president in sales. I've helped a lot of companies. I made millions of dollars in sales. I've done a lot of great things. At one point, I was running 25 or 27 offices, over 200 sales agents. I've motivated, led, taught. Um, on top of all of that, I also made a lot of mistakes. So I've learned from a lot of mistakes. I was blessed to be surrounded with great people, great mentors who helped me along the way and taught me a lot of things that I'm going to talk to you about. So I was sitting in a plane and I was thinking, well, there's so many things people need, so many things people can use help with. And right behind me, some ladies and gentlemen were having a conversation about some great idea or some great things that one of them read and want to implement in their life. And somehow in that conversation, it came out the lady said, well, I don't have time. I'm busy. There is no time for this, that, and the other. So I was like, well, we're going to start with time management, because a lot of that I went through. No time, too busy, no time, too busy. But you know what? If you want to achieve some things, you got to find time. So when I came home, talked to my wife, and I said, well, I'm going to start helping people. I will develop a program that hasn't been developed before, or at least in a way that I'm going to do it, to help people. But before I do that, I told her that I'm going to put 100, yes, 100 live training videos before the new year. That means 100 videos on topics that I believe is going to help you guys before December 31st this year. And after that, there will be a mastermind, a group, and a course. And for those who come and follow earlier, you will have a, I guess, first try, or you'll be the first ones to have it. Well, anyways, let's talk about time management. So that's a big topic, and 10 minutes does not give it a fair attention to discuss that. But today we're going to talk about the fundamentals of time management. And there's two concepts that I believe every single person who has a challenge with managing their time needs to comprehend first before you take and implement any other techniques, any other skills, or anything else that's out there in time management. The first one is you need to understand the 24-hour concept. And the second time, you got to understand the value of priorities to the time. So we're going to talk about the first one. The interesting thing about time, it's actually one of the most important things you do need to manage in your life. Business, personal, makes no difference. And I'll tell you why. You can lose a lot of things in life. You can lose cars, you can lose homes, you can lose money, you can lose finances, companies, businesses, you can even lose relationships, and you can get them back. There is one thing, if you lose, can't get that back, is your time. The last 3 minutes listening to me, gone. You can't get that back. So learning how to monitor your time and manage your time is probably one of the most important things you can do in developing yourself and your financial success. Time is interesting thing. Just like money, if the time sits still, it doesn't really sit still. It just loses its value. So the 24-hour concept, that we're going to start from that first. We have about 10 more minutes or so to talk. This is what that is. There is one common thing between all of us on this planet. is poor, rich, healthy, unhealthy, happy, unhappy, successful, not successful, etc., is the fact that all of us have 24 hours. Now, later on, I'm going to talk about how to make more than 24 hours out of your time, but that's going to come with a lesson, probably 8 or 10 or so, on time management. So 24 hours, it's one single thing we have all in common. The difference between the rich and the poor, the wealthy and unwealthy, happy and unhappy, successful and successful, is what we do, and more importantly, how we think in that given time, because 24 hours is going to go by regardless. So the concept of 24 hours is this. All of us have 24 hours. By the way, you don't have all 24 hours to get things done. You need to sleep, you need to eat, you need to go to the restroom. Those are the three things you gotta do. Well, probably take showers. Well, that helps. So, on average, it's been research done and studies been done many times that on average, 7 hours of sleep is more than enough for a human being to feel good and have a good physical health. If you sleep more than 7 hours, a lot of successful people sleep less than 7 hours, but if you sleep more than 7 hours, you're wasting a big chunk of your life. So that's the first thing, 7 hours. So 24 minus 7, that gives you 17 hours. So you've got 17 hours to accomplish everything else in your life. And in that 17 hours, you need to eat. Something is wrong with the camera. Here we go. You need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to attend to your daily activities, drive, take a bus, whatever you guys doing. So actually not all 17 hours available there either. So that's why it's most important to understand that you got 17 hours, maybe 18 or 19 if you sleep 5 or 6 hours a day. So what do you need to do in those 17, 16 hours? And that leads to a second point we're going to touch today, which is the two most important things you got to understand about time management before you implement anything else. One is 24 hours minus 7, that's what you've got left. The second one is how you allocate and what you do with the rest of those time, with the rest of those 17 hours. So, balance. That's something we're going to talk much later, but a lot of people search for perfect balance, for balancing their time evenly or equally. Balance is utopia. It doesn't exist. Balance that you're going to look for, have perfect balance in your life, you ain't going to find it. The most important thing you got to understand that your time needs to be allocated based on your priorities. And majority of people that have problem with managing their time, what they really have is the problem with their priorities, or they do not have any priorities. They just go along their day, whatever happens. They wake up, habitually, they gotta eat, go to the bathroom, take a shower, shave, whatever they gotta do, put the makeup on, they hopefully get some breakfast or coffee on the way, get in the car, get to the office, get to wherever they're going, go through their day, 8 hours, come back, grab a coffee on the way, maybe stop by, have a drink in the bar with the friends, come back home, sit, watch TV, and their time is usually, it's an habitual existence. They're really not focusing on time. They're just habitually doing things. Routine. Routine can be good, but if it's a habitual, mindless routine, it's really bad. So most of people, when they say they have a time management problem, they really have is their priority problem. So those 17 hours that's left, they need to be allocated based on defined priorities that you want to achieve. There is not one successful person in business, finance, family, sports, athletics, music, entertainment that had a perfect balance. What they have is their balance based on priorities. Do you honestly believe that a pro boxer has equal amount of time with the family, kids, friends, and training? You honestly believe that Bill Gates, when he first started, has an equal priority of time with family, friends, kids, diet, exercise, and whatever he spent building Microsoft? And we can give so many more examples on successful athletes and business people. No, they allocated more time to the priorities. So whatever your top 3 priorities are, you probably should take a piece of paper and write down what are your top 4, top 3 priorities. The most of your time should be allocated on number 1. The second most time should be allocated number 2, and the rest of the time should be allocated number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So if your priority is to get out of debt, to create business, to become better, to become more physically fit, and they fit in you 1 or 2, you got to allocate your time, most of your time, towards that. When I first started in business, I was single, didn't have kids. I understand some of you may be in different situations. I've allocated most of my time, and I really mean 7 to 8 hours a day, to learning how to be good in business, to learning the skills necessary and practice necessary to become good. Later on, the skills paid off, so I allocate a lot of my time to something else, like my martial arts. And I started exercising and teaching and coaching martial arts for about 4 or 5 hours a day. But at the beginning, you gotta get your priorities straight. Once you get your priorities straight, then you will know the answer on where the most of your time should go. And then all the further techniques we're going to cover and skills we're going to discuss and all tools I'll give you on managing your time will make sense. First is, what are your priorities? Do you have priorities? And if you don't, then take a piece of paper, sit down and write down, what do you want the most? How do you feel the most? How do you want to feel the most? What do you want to achieve the most in your life? What are the important aspects of your life? And make a list of that. And then look back on that list, analyze that list, and make yourself 4 priorities out of that list and focus on that. If you're broke, maybe your priority should be generating more income, for example. Once you define your priorities, then time management will start making more sense. There is one saying I've heard about time. You need to have your own time management plan, or you're going to be part of somebody else's time management plan. There is no middle. You either have yours, or you're part of somebody else's and you help them to become more successful. So let's review that. 2 concepts, 24 hours. Remember, you got to sleep 7 on average, so you have 17 hours left to accomplish everything else in your life. 2, the distribution of time based on your priorities. And if you don't have any priorities, what you have is called habitual spending of time. It's just routine. And then at the end of the day, you think, well, I don't have time. I didn't accomplish anything. Yes, you did. You just didn't think about it. You're always accomplishing something good, something bad, or you're spending time on irrelevant or irrelevant activities that really don't get you any better in any area of your life. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about a tool that all of you have and use, by the way, that, in fact, one of the biggest areas of where you spend your time, either wasting your time or making the time work for you, and we'll discuss that tomorrow.